welcome to today's video. I'm not gonna lie, originally this was supposed to be just a gameplay video of me demonstrating and benchmarking Apex Legends. It went wrong. It went so bad. I'd set the microphone audio a lot quieter than the game audio so you couldn't hear a word I said, so I thought I'd re-upload this with redubbed audio and talk about a couple of things, mainly why PC gaming in general for beginners and those looking to get into it, and the price points of that, where to buy used, where to buy new. And I thought I'd talk a little about Ryzen 3 since that got announced at Computex earlier on today, and we'll probably talk about if Intel is how they're gonna do the next couple of years. But anyway, first time playing Apex, first time ever. Didn't have a clue. I'd done the tutorial before recording this gameplay and then just jumped right in, so you're gonna need to bear with me with some bad gaming. But anyway, I thought I'd talk about why people are getting into PC gaming these days, because it seems to be an ever increasing thing, and I think it is just, I think YouTube is a massive thing to do it. I think people see a lot of the gameplay videos of people playing on PC. Like for instance, I started gaming on PC over 20 years ago, but I didn't play any real games. In my eyes, any real PC games anyway. I played Sims and a couple of free demos of games that I can't even remember. Older than most people that are on YouTube these days. But it wasn't until I saw Grand Theft Auto mods and Battlefield 4 with extra capture points that I thought myself, right, gonna do this. So back when I was at college, I got what I thought was my first gaming PC, emphasise thought. So got it, I had a FM2 plus socket with some kind of APU. I didn't know what an APU was, so I still bought a graphics card, and what I bought was a I think it was a GT 610 for £40, which to me at the time I thought, well, £40, that's a lot of money, that will get me a brilliant graphics card and I'll be able to play all the games. And I couldn't be more wrong. But as time went on, I eventually looked into parts, looked into graphics cards, looked into CPUs, and eventually found out where I went wrong. And then after that, I bought a used 8350 with a Formula, I think it was a Formula IV motherboard, and 8 gig of RAM for £230. This was about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, so that's why the price was so high. It was mainly the motherboard that cost the money. Now don't get me wrong, 8350s, if you can find an 8350 right now in the market for, say, £40, £50, or even a bundle for about 120 including RAM, then by all means grab that if it's going to be your first build, because more and more games are taking advantage of more cores, and as much as some people might argue that the 8350 isn't a true octa-core, which I suppose to an extent it isn't, I'll get into that in another video, it still runs plenty of games these days. Like you won't be running things at 144 Hz on ultra settings by any means or anything like that, but you'll get not bad results for your first rig. But anyway, after the 8350, and the reason I say after is because I fried it while overclocking. Through a stupid amount of voltage, overclocked it to 4.8 gigahertz, being ultra optimistic. Even got a voltage warning on my PC, on my desktop, from the ASUS software. Just didn't think anything of it. Went to make a cup of coffee, came back, and the PC was off. And it was about 10:30 at night. I had work the next day, so I thought to myself, right, I'll just leave it. I'll deal with that tomorrow after work. And then I tried to deal with it, and it didn't work. Period. Still to this day, I'm not sure exactly what was damaged, but it was broken. So then after that, I made a 2500K setup. Non-overclockable motherboard, so that doomed it from the start. This was only about 8 months ago, maybe a year ago. And don't get me wrong, the 2500K ran fine, but it was still bottlenecking the GTX 970 I have in my rig. In fact, there's another story actually. I went from an RX 460, a few that I bought 4 years ago, and then no word of a lie, found I think it was an R9 270X. I found that at the dump when I was taking a bed frame to the dump, just lying in a PC case, loved by no one. So grabbed that, left, went to CEX, traded in my RX 460 and the new R9 270X, and got a GTX 970. So there you go, upcycling for the win. So for the record, anytime you go to the dump, keep your eyes open for PC parts lying about. You'd be amazed what you can find. Just possibly ask first. I didn't. As far as I know, that might be against the law, but at the time, no one really seemed to care. No, I should say this is quite literally running. Oh, getting paused. This is running at close to max settings right now, and this is the same build from the last video. R5 2600 Ryzen 8 gig of 3000 MHz RAM. The reason it only had 8 gig is because it was I'd already bought a used motherboard for £50 off Facebook, and I sold the 2500K, the RAM, the motherboard and the GPU for £160. Great deal for a first PC, and that's exactly what it was going to. It was the guy I bought the 8350 combo from. He wanted to buy a PC for his son, and we got in contact, and then there we go. So using the 160 from that, I managed to get my 2600 for, I think it was £130, and then I got 8 gigs of RAM for just over £30. So I put about an extra £10 to it just to fit that CPU in. And that's another thing that I was arguing with myself with. Do I get the 2600 and 8 gig of RAM, or do I get an I think it's an R5 1400 and 16 gig of RAM? And the one thing, because I was really worried about the whole not having 16 gig of RAM, and don't get me wrong, that does hinder you at times. Like say like for instance, I tried playing The Witcher 3 at max settings, and it eventually crashed, and it was because the RAM. I was watching the RAM usage while I was playing just to see what would happen, and it crashed. So it will hinder you in some cases. It doesn't stop you in Apex. It doesn't stop you in Battlefield. It might stop you in Just Cause 3, because Just Cause 3 is Just Cause 3, and it's poorly optimized beyond belief. I've saw systems with 32 gig crash with that game, because it just starts absorbing your RAM like beyond belief. It's like The Blob for that horror film back in the day. It just eats everything. So I would always recommend buying a better CPU and worrying about RAM later, because RAM's cheap enough. There were certain reasons why I had the constraints I did at the time as far as money goes when buying this. And then there's another thing I want to talk about. I see everywhere, and it's not so much YouTubers that are to blame, but I would say it's more PC builders and companies that are selling supposed gaming PCs, and they promote these supposed gaming PCs that have low power CPUs in them and low power GPUs in them, and sell them for like £500-600. And so when people see that, and then they go on YouTube and do a bit of research and see, right, well, I need this instead, they're automatically going to think to themselves, well, I need to spend £1,000 on a PC. You don't have to spend £1,000 on a PC to actually get gaming and get set up. Like I pointed out in my last video, as much as I didn't say it, if you look in the description, the entire PC I'm using right now cost me £391. Given, although I did use 2 hard drives from previous build, and I got the case for free. but you can get terabyte hard drives for next to nothing nowadays. You can buy them new for like £30, or you can even just go to CEX and buy them for like £5–10 each a piece. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So it's easily done. I would say, like, the whole question is: do you use used parts? Do you use new parts? I would say your best bet is to use a mixture, because you'll not always get the best deal when it comes to use with certain used parts. You'll not get a good deal with a used 2600 as it stands, or even used 1600 CPUs as it stands, because for some reason the used prices just haven't dropped much. They might as of July 7th when Ryzen 3 gets released, but only time will tell, because as much as Ryzen 3 is getting released, they're only releasing the R7 and the R9 series. They've not really mentioned R5 or R3 yet. Oh, here we go, first ever kill. Oh, like a boss. Yeah, I was in the zone when I done this. It was unbelievable. It was an absolute miracle. Still didn't have a clue what I was doing. Even when I picked up that pack thing to respawn my teammate, I just didn't know what it was. Yeah, so I would say your best bet, because like the PC I'm using now, motherboard used. I got it at half price. It's £100 new. Paid £50 for it. But at the same time, even if you're not going Ryzen and you're going on another platform, say a modern platform, because if you're say going to go with an Intel CPU like before Coffee Lake or Sky Lake or Kaby Lake, then you'll just have to buy the parts used. There's no escaping it. You can't buy them new. You can try, and you might just manage it, but it's going to be pretty rare. But when it comes to modern cases, like say in my case, like just buy a motherboard used and then buy the RAM and CPU new. Some Intel CPUs you might get a good deal on. I did see a couple of good deals with them, but if you're going to throw money at a new Intel CPU, then you should probably just wait till July and just buy a new Ryzen CPU. And if you've got the money for used Intel, then you've got the money for new AMD. And to be honest with you, like everybody goes on about the battle of red versus blue and stuff like that. It only really applies when it comes to high performance gaming, high end gaming. Like if you're 60 FPS and 4K or 144 Hz at 1440p, or even not even 144 Hz on 1080p, because this CPU could probably accomplish that with a 1070 or 1070 Ti or even a Vega 56. So it's just each to their own kind of thing. So yeah, but at the same time though, if you buy new, obviously you'll get a warranty, and like because I bought the CPU new, I got a free copy of World War Z with DLC and Tom Clancy's Division 2 for free. But you know, it's a decent chunky change worth of free games just by buying a CPU new. So you can factor that in as well if you are going to be buying games, which you obviously will. Which I was saying is another reason to get into PC gaming, because there's a lot more sales. Like, it's not as true as it was about 4 or 5 years ago, because there was no sales almost for Xbox and PS4 and console in general. But nowadays you've got Game Pass, you've got EA Access, and you've got quite alright sales on the store once in a while. And plus you can get games on CD keys and G2A and all that stuff. So it is starting to increase quite a bit, I would say. But still, it's worth. I would say the deals are still not as great as what you can get on Steam and Origin, to be honest with you. And you get Origin access on PC as well, and a couple of other subscription services like that for games, and you get some pretty good deals. So it's always good in that sense. You usually get demos first too, as far as I know. Like as far as I knew, we got the Battlefield 5 beta first. And even now, I've still got a 10-hour trial sitting on my Origin account, just waiting to be used, which I'll probably be on the next video just to see how that runs, because the 2500K did not handle Battlefield 5 as well as I wanted it to. And like, that's another thing. Don't if you've not got a lot of money, just buy used and just aim for performance, bang for buck. Because the better performance you've got in your PC once you've set up, the less time you'll spend sitting in settings, tweaking settings, running benchmarks, tweaking the settings again, and just, honest to God, I've spent a horrendous amount of time trying to optimize games with low-end hardware, and it is just ridiculous. You literally do spend just more time optimizing than you do playing the games. No, it's as simple as that. It's a horrible, horrible thing. But don't get me wrong, a lot of people enjoy that. That's another thing. Don't be scared to overclock. Like, for instance, I just overclocked this 2600 to 4 gigahertz with 1.3 volts on the core on the socket, and it's running fine. Beyond chill. It's only reaching about 60 degrees, which is kind of weird, especially since it's a stock cooler. Which is another thing Ryzen seems to be winning it, is their stock coolers, because Intel stock coolers don't seem to do very well. Let's see. Oh, here we go, finally. Showing the video settings. I have no idea what half of it means, so if you don't understand it, don't worry. It's okay. As long as it looks good. And that's another reason why I didn't put FPS or anything in the top left corner like I did in my last gameplay video, because I wanted you to judge it by view, not by numbers. Because so many people get sucked into, oh, we need to make sure we've got exactly 60 FPS at all times. And the only way they notice it is through the numbers itself. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're dropping 10% of frames, then you're going to see a slight judder. But other than that, it's going to be fine most of the time. On a separate note, if you've not already watched it, watch AMD's Ryzen 3 release for Computex and their Navi release at Computex too. Intel might be screwed. They might come back in a couple of years with something better, but as it stands, they're not going to release anything that's going to match the IPC increases or the low TTPs on those CPUs. No chance, no way. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's Super NVIDIA or something like that. NVIDIA's calling their latest GPU release, and it might match it maybe. I don't know. We'll just need to wait and see, because that isn't getting released until E3. I think they're going to release the stats, the Navi. But they are taking on 2080 Ti's and stuff like that, and the comparison videos. So just be prepared for that. There's some crazy stuff. But anyway, I think I'll wrap that up today. I'm going to be releasing Battlefield benchmark soon. Battlefield 5, sorry. And if you've got any other benchmark, any games that you want benchmarking or anything like that, just mention it down in the comments. Feel free to like, maybe even subscribe. I've only got 5 subs. Help a bro out. No in it for the money. It's just a hobby. Right, anyway, peace.